Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my home here in Livingston, Montana. My name is Jim. Now, the reason why I'm making this video recording here is just because I'm stupid. I'm just kidding. A little jocularity never hurt anybody. But ladies and gentlemen, this is my 1,000th video on YouTube. I've created 1,000 videos. Now, according to YouTube, their figures are different than mine, but over the years, I've ditched a few videos because of copyright, that music thing and all that crap, and so their numbers just doesn't line up with my numbers, but I know for a fact that this is video number 1,000. Because I've had this little numeric system that I go by. Behind every file I've ever made, there's a series of numbers. That's why I know. And what else was I going to say along those lines? Well, it doesn't really matter. Oh, what does matter is I've got these notes right here, so I better follow along with this. Okay, I started my account in February of 2013. I've been on YouTube for exactly 10 years. Oh no, he's been on YouTube 10 years. Yeah, February of 2013, and I had 2 accounts before that, but the haters and trollers got to me, and I ditched the account before I learned how to handle them, so there you go with that. And like I say, I had 2 accounts before this one right here that I stayed with. And my internet birth, if you will, internet birth, when I, let's see, what do I call this here? Yeah, my internet start was actually on New Year's, right around New Year's of 2008, 2009. I started live broadcasting in a place called blogtv.com. And believe you me, I learned the hard way about haters and trollers and all that kind of stuff. And I know there's some people floating around that still remember me from them Blog TV days. Okay, now, this is maybe not that noteworthy for you, but it is for me. I am estimating this. I'm not positive about this, but I estimate that between my efforts on Blog TV and my efforts on YouTube here, which haven't been all that good, admittedly, I've been reviewed by 10 million people. What does that mean? Absolutely nothing. I wish I could have a penny for every time somebody reviewed me, though. That's a fact, And my internet name, Jumbo, I got that. I took that from a brother of mine that's 8 years younger than me. He used to call me Jum all the time when we were kids. I guess in place of Jim, So I just took that Jum and added a bow onto it. So does it mean anything? Absolutely not. Like I say at the beginning of all my videos, my name is Jim. So there you are, So what else do I got here in these lovely notes? Yeah, anyway, that stint there on blogtv.com, that live broadcasting stuff, I know for a fact, because I rode right with those people right to the bitter end. But it was the last day in March of 2013 when they went out of business. So I live broadcast 2009, the years of 2010, 2011, 2012, and the beginning of 2013. And that's about when I started this account that I'm on right here, this YouTube account, okay? Okay, let me see. Okay, that's good enough notes for that there. Yeah, and the purpose of my channel, as everybody knows, I really started out just wanting to do Montana subject, fishing, hunting, and outdoor stuff and touring and just anything I could think of that was Montana oriented, if you will. I just got hung up on words there. That happens a lot. But unfortunately, I found out the hard way that sometimes content is hard to come by. It's just that simple, for one reason or the other. And our winters up here in Montana aren't all that fun, and I don't particularly like going around making movie files when the weather's real crappy. There's nothing enjoyable about that, But also one thing I've tried is fly fishing during my tenure here on YouTube. And that has been the most difficult thing that I ever had to do, was try to set up a tripod, try try to get actual scenes of me casting and fly fishing and actually hooking up with trout, getting a recording of me doing that. Because over the years, I've been my own author, I work alone, I do my own photography, and what little editing I do, I've done for myself. So, and also, one thing that I've suffered with over the years is I've got certain family members that haven't exactly liked what I'm doing. I've endured a little bit of criticism, if you will, but I've managed to live through all that. So what do we got here? So I've had some challenges, believe you me. There's been times I've done YouTube videos when I wasn't feeling all that well. Content issues, camera issues, lighting, wind, you name it. I probably endured it one way or the other. Okay, next little, by the way, these postcards here, I've used these a lot. This is what I call my teleprompter, if you will. Okay. One thing that I found out early on, about halfway through my tenure here on YouTube, is it's real easy to fall into this thing of venting. And I decided that I really didn't like to get on camera and start venting, but it's very, very easy to do. I just thought I'd make mention of that. And then over the years, I've never had a sponsor. Never had a sponsor. I don't even know how to go about getting a sponsorship unless I just write to some company and say, how'd you like me to sponsor you and blah, 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 About the only thing that I'm famous for probably here on YouTube is starting this, oh no thing, oh no, it's Jumbo, talking like that. And that's just been kind of a jovial thing that I've developed in the last couple of months or so, And also, one of the things about my particular shows, videos over the years, is I like to work spontaneous, where I can just get an idea and roll with it. I don't like to be put in a pigeonhole, because when I first started out, like I say, I wanted to do the Montana outside, but you can't always be outside. I can't always do outside scenes, so there you are. But one thing I do is tell stories on my channel here, which that's pretty challenging, but it also can be kind of funny at the same time, kind of fun, And one thing this is one thing that you folks might get a kick out of. And I know every YouTuber that's working with content or trying to develop content runs into this problem. That's when you film a scene, when you sit down and you film something, and all of a sudden you have what I call lipos or mouthos. That's where you screw up your wording. I do that all the time, and you have to stop everything and restart your camera like that. Well, this is what I do know. If you was to publish your lipos, your wordos, and all that kind of stuff, it would be a lot funnier than if he was to get all serious and try real hard and make things just perfect. When it comes to YouTube, as far as I'm concerned, there's no anything that's just perfect. Not in my world, there isn't, So these false starts, what I've got to say is publish them. That's basically what I'm saying here, And also, here's something you might want. This is no BS. Okay, when it comes to this business of logarithms and how people always say, well, I need you to thumbs up, thumbs down. I need you to have you comment on that because it helps the logarithms. To help boost your channel and that kind of stuff. I got news for you, ladies and gentlemen. I have no clue what an logarithm is. Not a clue in the world. Yeah, there's a lot of things that go on in this world right now, I'll be very honest with you, that I simply don't understand. Call me an old hillbilly or somebody that's, living in the dark ages or whatever, but there is a lot of stuff that's going on right now in the here and now that I haven't a clue. And by the way, if I haven't said this, it's 11th of July of 2023. I always like that to get a kind of a time stamp. Oh no, I gotta do the video over. No, I'm just kidding. But right there was a lipo. We gotta do it over again. No, you don't. Just keep rolling with it. Okay. What was I gonna say? What was I talking about? I even forgot what I was talking about, even when I got notes here. I don't care. Roll with it. Here's something I got to tell you, ladies and gentlemen. when it comes to this YouTube business, have fun. This is, in my 10 years of being on YouTube, this is one thing that you gotta roll with. You gotta roll with this. It's the best advice I could give anybody. It's two pieces of advice I know is good and solid. Have fun if you can. If at all possible, have fun, and then be you. You know what I mean? Don't try to be somebody that you're not, because that's what I've done on my channel here. Is I've tried to be honest. I've tried to be humorous whenever I could. That's not always possible, and that's another thing. I don't practice. It's quite obvious with my narration. I don't practice hardly at all. I got these startups. I just keep doing it over and over and over again till I can get it right. Well, like I said a few minutes ago, just publish those false starts, and you'll have a successful channel. Okay, now I do have with YouTube itself, I do have a couple of gripes, and that's with people that make these miserable thumbnails that are misleading, that are not, they really don't represent the content of the movie file, if you understand what I mean. I don't like that. Matter of fact, I don't make thumbnails at all. I've had people tell me, Jim, you got to make thumbnails. No, I don't, because it's a pain enough to make these movie files and get them uploaded and get all that stuff straight and all that, Okay, so I don't like what I call false thumbnails. And the second thing I don't like about YouTube is when these people make these movie files, turn up your volume. There's so many movie files I watch, I just can't believe it. It blows. Either I can't hear what the dude's saying, or it's way too loud. So there you are with those two things right there. That's my two biggest gripes. And over the years, up until just a year or so ago, I was not monetized on my channel. But I went ahead and monetized myself, and I know nobody's going to believe this next statement. I know you're not, but it's the absolute truth. Now, there's two major reasons. For one, I wanted to see what it was like being monetized. And number two, I always realized before I got involved with being, monetized, that I always realized that, how am I going to word this, that there was guidelines from YouTube that you had to follow, and I found myself getting crotchety. I found myself wanting to, use YouTube as a place to dump. I don't think that's the right way to go at all. So I figured if I monetized myself, I could curtail a lot of that thinking. I didn't want to turn to being some kind of an emo here on YouTube, if that makes any sense at all. So that's, two reasons. That right there, and I wanted to see how being monetized is. And it's a lot different than what I thought, but there's some guidelines that you absolutely got to follow, or they'll come along and, demonetize your channel or ding you or give you community strikes and on like that. Okay, I know this is just, I have to run. I feel like I'm under pressure right now, but I just wanted to hit a few high spots here. I want to shut up because I know this is a boring movie file, but the last thing I've got to say is camera equipment. I never have invested in real expensive camera equipment. When I first got started rolling on YouTube, all I used was an Olympus all-weather camera. God, believe you me, I needed it, And then once I got the hang of an iPhone, I use an iPhone quite a bit, with my outdoor stuff and whatnot, have you. And then I have a webcam that I use. That's it. That's it for me. I don't get too carried away here, because, well, you take like this iPhone I'm using right now. This thing is an iPhone XS Max, and this doggone thing was well over $1,000, So why not put it to good use, So there you are with all that. And yeah, so I know I forgot a bunch of stuff, but one thing I will say before I leave here, I had told myself quite a while ago that once I reached 1,000 videos, I was going to quit. I was absolutely going to hang up YouTube, but I'm at that point. I'm at 1,000 videos right now, but I think I'm going to keep going. But from here on out, I'm not going to put a number at the end of my title. Every one of my videos have got a title and then a number behind it, like, 998, 999, and this is 1000. And I hope I don't have to record this over again, because I hate doing that. I like to just get on here, say what I gotta say and get gone. Okay, that's all there is to it, ladies and gentlemen. I know this wasn't much of a movie file, but this is all you get out of me for today. Thank you very much. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you on down the trail. And adios, my friends.